Welcome back to Steve's Private Car Garage. My name is Steve. Sitting back here is my 1969/1970 Triumph Spitfire, depending upon who you ask, named Tanker. Tonight I'm going to be working on a couple of little things to try to prepare for putting these wings back onto the car. I'm going to go ahead and get these panels sanded on the inside and prepped for paint. And then in a night or two, when I come back, I'm going to go ahead and lay down some paint on these guys. So stick around, I'll take you through the process. All right, so if you remember in the last video, I went ahead and I finished up work on the taillight section. And I took a couple of, really, I guess 2 weeks off, more or less, to kind of knock out a few things, get some prep work done, get my air system kind of upgraded a little bit. And so now it's time to actually start thinking about these panels. These are the next pieces of the puzzle to go back onto the car. Now, I have salvaged these, obviously, off the car. When I removed them, I was trying to be as careful as possible. And there is obviously some metal work that didn't quite make it out perfectly, but for the most part, it's pretty good. I had to do some repairs along this flange here, as you can see, to go ahead and try to fix some of the holes I made, and it's kind of the same story over here. I mean, it's not the prettiest thing in the world, but it definitely works, and it's certainly a lot better than having to go out and spend $300 a piece for each one of these panels. So, if you're new to the story and to the project, I'll give you a little bit of a recap. So these panels, this car actually entirely, was pretty much reskinned back sometime in the early 2000s. They left a rotten core and they put new metal over it. And that's what these are. These panels all date back to about the 2000s. And I can tell that because if you look at some of these stickers here, you'll actually see manufacturing dates of 2000. And I noticed that especially on the door skins. So these cars, these panels have the E-coat on them still from back when they were made. And the E-coat is actually held up extraordinarily well, which is great. But as you can see, there are some areas of rust here. And then, of course, we have all this trunk paint that they put in the entire trunk that oversprayed into here. So what I want to do is go ahead and sand this back, get a good key on it, and then I'm going to go ahead and apply primer. And then afterwards, I'm going to go ahead and put satin black, hot rod satin black on the inner panels here. So that way it'll be just like over here on these strengtheners. Now with these strengtheners and these panels here, I actually used Master Series first, and then I did the 2K epoxy satin black. I don't have any more 2K epoxy satin black handy, so my buddy Chris gave me some stuff from Kirker, which is a primer, and then also there is a satin black top coat. So I'm going to use that. I figure I don't necessarily need 2K because this is going to be pretty much all the way concealed. And frankly, it's free paint, so why not use it? So I'm going to go ahead and get started by scuffing this, sanding in the back, and then in the next night, I'll probably end up coming out here and actually getting ready to lay some paint. But let's go ahead and get these panels cleaned up. Let's get them ready so that way we can lay some paint. while cleaning that up, I discovered there's a little spot down here that I'm going to need to fill in with a little bit more weld, just to kind of fill a hole. But I ain't worried about that. And outside of that, I think this thing is pretty keyed up nicely. I removed the paint that was in here from, they painted on the inside of the trunk. So I'm pretty happy with it. Let's go ahead and get on to the next panel.
Five minutes later.
All right, so I went ahead and did a little bit of quick metalwork cleanup here. And now I've gone ahead and hit this with prep etch. And again, got prep etch going on this. I'm gonna give this stuff about 15-20 minutes or so for it to do its thing. Convert whatever little last bit of rust that's on there into a nice hard surface. Then I'll bring these outside and I'm gonna hose them off. That's gonna be pretty much it for tonight. So, I mean, you guys know what a hose looks like and how water flows, so you don't need to see me do anything further. But I'm gonna kind of leave it here for tonight's video. And then we'll pick up in a few days when we get ready to lay some paint. So we will see you in a few days.
Welcome back. Here we are on Saturday morning. I'm gonna go ahead and start getting these panels prepped. We're gonna lay down some paint. Last night I came out and tried to start the process, but then I found out that I needed to really kind of give my gun a good cleaning before I went ahead and started painting. So I just kind of stopped and got that thing cleaned up last night and then decided to pick up today. So here's where we're at. Let's take it out.
All right, so these are the panels. Gonna give these wiped down first with some denatured alcohol, and then I'll hit them with a tack cloth. And then we'll go ahead and mix up some primer. We'll do a coat or two of primer, and then we'll lay down some base coat. Alright, so now we're going to come through with a clean tack cloth. See if we get any other dirt and debris out. Alright, so let's see if I can do this without messing it up. I'm going to try to make about 8 ounces of paint. I think that should be adequate to do some coats on it. This is a 4-to-1 ratio. So I'll do 4 here and then 4 and 4. And that should get me to right about 8 ounces. Let's see if we can do this without messing it up. I guess I should probably set my respirator on too. Wearing the respirator really kind of makes me feel like Walter White. Alright. Got my mesh strainer. Put that in here. I'm going to be focusing on the 4-to-1 section. Let's see if we can do this. All right, so we're right at that line. I've got the activator. I think it's been a little while since this has been opened. Okay. Now I'm on the 4 to 1. I need to go to the other 4. Alright, activator's been added. This is where things get a little stinky. Wish me luck. All right. Well, let's see what happens. Oh yeah, so that's way too. Come on, thing. Alright, so that's one coat of primer down. I was adjusting the air a little bit and I got a drip here. I'm not too worried about it, because again, this ain't gonna be seen. But, I mean, it's got super orange peel, although I can't tell if that's orange peel. Yeah, that's orange peel. There's a lot of orange peel. I gotta figure out more how to control the gun to keep it from doing that. I think that when you get orange peel like that, it means the pressure's too high. I'm gonna have to do a quick Google search real quick, but we're gonna let this flash and then I'm gonna go ahead and put a second coat. All right, so we're back for round 2. I discovered that my air pressure is just way too low, and that's why it's giving me orange peel. So I've gone ahead and knocked it up, and now we'll go ahead and try again, see how it is. right. It's not bad. It's not good either, but it's not bad. That's just fine because this is, again, inner panel, so I don't care. Not bad. All right, want to go get the gun cleaned up, and I will get ready to do some top coat, because you can apply top coat to this after about 30 minutes. So yeah, between 30 minutes and 18 hours, but I want to try to get this done today. So let's go ahead and get that taken care of. All right, I'm back, got the gun cleaned, got it loaded up with some satin black. Let's go ahead and try to lay some paint. Alright, well, I got drips. Yeah, I got drips. Drips. And I got drips. I'm not worried about it though. You won't see it. Right? Let this set up about 15 minutes and then I'll throw another coat on. And then we will wrap up. Alright, there we go. So I ended up applying the second coat off camera. It just went really quickly. You can see there's a ton of orange peel on this, and I'm sure a lot of that has to do with the gun pressure and me learning. The drips here are just absolutely obscene. But you know what? It is what it is. If this were on the outside of the car, then that would be a whole different ball of wax. So this is pretty dang good for just being on the inner wing. So with that being said, let's go ahead and wrap up this video. All right, well, so there you have it. That's it. Got the inner wings painted now. I'm pretty happy about that. The next stop on this journey is going to be to weld these guys onto the car. I got a little bit of work in the trunk area I might do first. But really, we're going to weld these guys back on and then get ready to weld the sills on. So if you haven't done so already, please go ahead and hit the like, hit the subscribe button, click that bell to get those post notifications. And remember, when working on project cars like this, don't be the dreaded previous owner. Cheers.